All right, guys, we have been talking about ecosystems, and today we're going to be talking about the ocean ecosystem. That's the booklet that you're going to be making today. So you have a piece of paper that looks like this to go ahead and find. And our video today, instead of being about ecosystems in general, is going to focus on just the ocean ecosystem. It's not one that we have near our house, just like the savanna isn't one that we have near our house. And it'll just help us to get a little bit more familiar with some features of the ocean ecosystem. If you want to do a little coloring while you watch the video, you could do that.
I can't wait to go to the beach and learn about the ocean. Most of our planet is covered by salt water and our oceans and seas. The ocean is divided into different zones according to how much sunlight it receives. The living things in each zone have different ways to survive in their environment. What is the sunlit zone? The sunlit zone is the top part of the ocean. Here, enough light goes through the water to allow plants to grow. Tiny living things called phytoplankton use sunlight to make their own food, kind of like plants. Animals, such as krill, eat the phytoplankton. Then bigger fish and larger animals like dolphins eat the krill. Right, Moby. Phytoplankton play an important part in many ocean food chains and food webs. The sunlit zone is home to many different living things. Coral reefs are also found in the sunlit zone. Coral is an animal that grows a very hard skeleton. Tons of animals live in coral reefs, including fish, eels, and mollusks. Most marine life is in the sunlit zone, but it's actually the smallest zone. What is the twilight zone? The twilight zone is below the sunlit zone. Less light gets through the water. Some animals can go back and forth between the sunlit and twilight zones, including the sperm whale and swordfish. Cuttlefish also live in the twilight zone. As you go further away from the surface, less light gets through the water. It also gets colder and colder. As you go deeper, fewer plants and animals can survive. What is the midnight zone? The midnight zone is the deepest part of the ocean, and it's also the largest zone. No sunlight can reach the midnight zone, but living things like this Dumbo octopus have adapted to life here. Food can be difficult to find in this zone. So some fish, like this fangtooth, have large mouths so they can grab and eat anything. Anglerfish have a special body part that lights up. This light attracts prey. Many deep-sea animals have parts that are bioluminescent, which means they can glow to attract prey or scare off predators. The ocean floor is a dark and rocky place. There are even vents in the Earth's crust. The vents give off heat and chemicals, and tiny living things called bacteria feed on the chemicals. Some animals rely on the vents and the bacteria to survive, like these tube worms. There are even deep-sea crabs and mussels. Most of the planet is covered by oceans, but our oceans are changing. How are ocean habitats changing? When people pollute the environment, they cause problems for many living things. Even garbage in our communities can sometimes end up in our oceans. In fact, there's a growing patch of trash in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that's bigger than the state of Texas. It's important to clean up after yourself and recycle. This simple act can help protect our environment. In many parts of the world, overfishing is a big problem. This is causing certain kinds of fish to become endangered. It's important to protect our oceans because so many living things rely on them to survive. You can research and write to government leaders and tell them about our changing oceans. You could also help keep beaches and communities clean. You can also start or join a club to share what you learn with other people. There are many ways to get involved. Anyway, Moby, I can't wait to go to the beach. You're going to surf to the beach? You can't do that. There's no water.
All right, guys, here's the thing. Kindergartners, you are almost first graders. First graders, you are almost second graders. So, you guys are so far along in school now, I'm just going to trust you've done these little booklets 3 times. So I think having done it 3 times, now's the 4th time. I bet you can do this on your own without me needing to cut it out here and color it and put it together in the book. I think you can do that part all by yourself. So what I'm going to do with you is just look through this a little bit, and you'll notice this one. Remember the video talked about the sunlit zone and the twilight zone and the midnight zone based on how much light each zone had. So this ecosystem paper all focuses just on the sunlit zone of the ocean. All right, here's your cover. The ocean. Now, if you haven't colored all of this yet and you want to add a couple of fish in here, you could. Our definition: an ocean is a large body of salt water that covers much of the Earth's surface. Plants that we might have there. There are millions of plants that live in the ocean. The marine algae in the ocean provides us with the oxygen we need to breathe. Now, it's not our only source of oxygen, is it? Other plants on land also give us oxygen, but marine algae produce oxygen that goes into the water and gets mixed into the water, and some of it comes out of the water into the air. Animals that we might have in the ocean's ecosystem, you guys know these: shark, seahorse, fish, squid. Now a squid is farther down in the ocean, isn't it? That's one's not in the sunlit zone. The video talked about crabs that might be farther down, even in the midnight zone. Lobster, sea urchins, and anemones. And here again with our producers, our food chain, we have a producer, kelp. That's a type of plant, seaweed. Crabs, herbivores. Now, this is kind of a funny thing because crabs are not really herbivores. They might eat some plants, but crabs eat all sorts of things that they find on the bottom of the ocean. You could almost call some crabs a decomposer. An octopus is indeed a carnivore. And a starfish, much like a crab, it lives on the bottom of the ocean, and it takes care of some of the things that have died down there. All right, guys, go ahead and show me how you know to put this book together all on your own. Send me a picture of your ocean booklet.